Good morning, students. Morning. So after this long weekend, we are meeting first time in this week. Um, we were talking about data, information, types of data, types of variable and things, and then we started measures of central tendency. So let's see what we are going to cover today. All right. So in the last class, what I had covered types of data based on measurement skills. So we discussed about nominal scale data, ordinal scale data, interval scale data, and um, ratio scale data. And I gave ample example so that you can understand the difference between those data sets. And repeatedly, I have been saying that those data, it is important to know what kind of data is there for at your hand for the analysis purpose, because then only you will be able to apply proper techniques and tools and proper um, graphical measures to handle that data. So if it is nominal scale data, you are restricted to some extent. You can just calculate mode and percentage and nothing else. If you have ratio scale data, you can do lot many more analysis, right? Then we discuss qualitative data and quantitative data. So in MCQs or one line questions, these type of questions come. Qualitative data, when the data is in text format or it is kind of labels, um, where we do not have numbers. And even if we have numbers, those numbers are just like labels. Those numbers are not having any numerical significance. So nominal scale data and ordinal scale data, those are considered as qualitative data. Quantitative data, those are numerical data where we have numerical significance. So ratio scale data and interval scale data, those data come under quantitative data. Then we discuss cross-sectional data. Cross-sectional data when the data are collected at a certain point in time. So if I have collected information on unemployment rate in the year 2020. So in the year 2020, if I have collected the data about how many people are employed, how many people are unemployed, and if I calculate that unemployment rate, then it is cross-sectional data, because in one point in time I have collected the data. The data correspond to only year 2020, right? But on the other hand, if I take data for certain interval of time, periodically, if I take data for different time periods, same variable I'm uh, for the same variable I'm collecting data, but in different time periods, then it is called time series data. So for example, if I collect data on employment unemployment rate from 1991 to 2020, so 91, 92, year 95, 96. So similarly, if I collect data of unemployment rate or maybe some other things, disease rate or cancer rate, uh, for every time period, from 1991 to 2020, then it will be called as time series data. So time dependent data is time series data, जहाँ पे बहुत सारे different time periods रहते हैं. We talked about data sources, primary sources and secondary sources. We elaborately discussed that whatever data the researcher is going to collect through field visit, that is primary sources, and whatever data are already published in the already published and available for uh, public usage, public research or usage, that is secondary data. So audit reports and all those reports which are published by companies, those are secondary data. Some survey results, census, these are secondary data. And then we started measures of central tendency. So measures of central tendency, I already discussed that it is the central value which we are looking for in a data set, which will summarize the entire data set, right? And in the central tendency, we will be talking about mean, median, mode. These are the general central value which statisticians calculate, right? So what we are going to cover today, we will be calculating arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is simple average, which we already saw in the last class, how to calculate that for raw data. So we will be calculating arithmetic mean for ungrouped data and group data. So I'll be discussing what is ungrouped data and what is group data today. Then I will discuss also the concept of median and calculation of median for ungrouped data and group data. All right. So let's begin this. So share my screen. Okay, so we are in measures of central tendency and I had already discussed mean. So calculation of mean, when you have data set at your hand, that could be either in the form of ungrouped or grouped. Now, what is ungrouped data? That is just the raw data. I mean, you just have data like this. So suppose if you have marks of students, it could be like 13, 14, 15, 14, 13, 19, 17. These are the marks. Suppose, out of 20 people have got. Then again 13, 17, 7, 9, 5, 3. So this is ungrouped data. We just have marks of students, right? And no grouping has been done. These are raw data. And you are required to calculate mean out of this data set. So what you are going to do, for if you have just very few values, you just have to add the values and divide that by number of observations. N means number of observations. So here I have very few values, 13, 14, 15. I will just add up all these values and then I will divide that by number of observations, that is 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have n as 13 and total iska sum jitna ho raha hai, that will be my sum divided by 13, that will be mean. So mean marks will be calculated like that. Sometimes in the ungrouped data, we also have frequency distribution. What is frequency distribution? When you have ungrouped data, but the range of the data set vary a lot. So for example, if you have marks ranging from 0, somebody got 0, somebody got 1, 2, 3, and then some people got 55, 59, 57, okay, and then 60, and then 65, some even got 95, and then again some got 7, 8, 9. So you have, suppose, hundreds of data, so n is 100, and the range is quite wide from 0 to 95. People have got marks from 0 to 95. Now if you want to write that data 0, 0, 0, kitna bar 1, 1, 2, 95, that will be too much. Even though you will be dealing with calculator, so it will be easier. But then to handle this kind of data, what we prefer to prepare a frequency distribution. So now frequency distribution कैसे बनाया जा सकता है? I can either keep ungrouped frequency distribution or grouped frequency distribution. So for example, let me show you this. All right, so suppose if I have data like this, marks. So here I have 13, 14, 13, 15, 19. So यहाँ range बहुत ज़्यादा vary नहीं कर रहा है, right? I have got 15 marks, n is 15, and range बहुत ज़्यादा vary नहीं कर रहा है, but then some of the marks are getting repeated, right? So I can I can prepare a frequency distribution like this: marks and then frequency F. And here I can write marks like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 19. Right? These are the marks. And then frequency means कितना बार वो number, वो value repeat हुआ है. So 13, how many times I am having 13? 1, 2, 3, 4. So corresponding to 13, I will write frequency as 4. Then similarly 14, how many times 14 is there? 14, 1, and then just 1. So 14 का frequency हो गया 1. 15 का frequency 1, 2, 3, 4. 15 is coming 4 times, right? So this is how you can calculate the frequencies, and you can see that it is coming 4, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, alright. 4, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. And if you calculate, if you add up the frequencies, it will be 15. Right? So this is called ungrouped frequency distribution. Why ungrouped? Because यहाँ पे marks जो है single marks है, right? Discrete. This is also called discrete frequency distribution. Discrete or ungrouped. DISCRET. Right? Why? Because here I don't have interval or range of marks. Rather, I have single point of marks, right? 13, 14, 15. So this is ungrouped frequency distribution or discrete frequency distribution. On the other hand, if I keep a range, for example, if I keep a range like marks, it is from 13 to 15, I will take marks like this, and then 15 to 17, and then 17 to 19, then 19 to 21. If I create a frequency, if I create a range or interval, class interval, this is called group frequency distribution. So this is discrete or ungrouped. And then I have frequency here. This is called grouped frequency distribution. Grouped frequency distribution. And then how I am going to count this? In grouping also, there are two types of grouping. One is called overlapping or exclusive class, or another one is called non-overlapping or inclusive class. So let me show you what it is. Suppose here it is 13 to 15. I am selecting the range 13 to 15, and the next range is again 15 to 17. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? 15, 15 दो बार repeat हो रहा है, right? So it is ending with 15 and it is again starting with 15, right? So that means overlapping. The class intervals are overlapping. Again, it is ending with 17 and it is starting with 17. So again, the class intervals are overlapping. So this kind of grouping is called overlapping grouping or exclusive grouping. Why exclusive grouping? Because here the upper bound is not included. So अगर किसी को exactly 15 marks मिला है, that person will be counted in the next class interval and not in the previous class interval. So what I meant to say, if I prepare this frequency distribution, 13 से लेके 14 तक जिसको marks मिला है, I will count that here. So 13 and 14, that means 5 people will be counted here. And those who got exactly 15 will be counted in the next class interval. Alright? जहां से ये start हो रहा है 15. So that means 15 and 16, this will be counted in this class interval. 4 plus 2, 6. So 6 people will be counted here. 15 से लेके 17 के बीच में. Alright? Because 17, the upper bound is excluded here. इसको हम count नहीं करेंगे. Because 17 फिर से repeat हो रहा है, so नीचे वाले में हम लोग count करेंगे. So 17 to 19, in this range we will count only 3. क्योंकि 19 again जिसको exactly 19 मिला है, that person will be counted in the next class interval. So 17 to 19, here the frequency will be 3, and 19 to 21, here the frequency will be 1. So this is how I will prepare my frequency distribution, and this is group frequency distribution. Because marks ka grouping हुआ है, right? 13 to 15. I don't know the exact marks. I don't know that these 5 people, how much marks they exactly got. I just know that these 5 people have got marks between 13 to 15. And 15 is excluded. That means the range of marks is 13 to 14. या तो उन्हें 13 मिला या 14, right? So that is why it is called group frequency distribution. All right. So again, the summation of F, add total count will be same, 15. Total 15 people are there. And this is how you can calculate the frequency distribution. All right. So if you have any doubt, you can, write that in the chat box. All right. So this is called overlapping, right? Because here 15 is getting overlapped. So here. All right. So I just told you that for group data, it could be overlapping or exclusive class interval, जो हमने अभी देखा, जिसमें कि previous class का upper bound and succeeding class का lower bound same होता है, that is overlapping class interval. Non-overlapping or inclusive class interval where the previous classes upper bound and the successive classes lower bound will be different. So we will see example. So if we have group data, then how to calculate mean? So let us see that. Here the question is find mean for the following data showing annual production of paddy in 1000 tons during last 40 years. So now let us understand this data, what it means. Here I have the figures in intervals, right? So this is class interval 650 to 700, 700 to 750, 750 to 800. So this is how I'm having the class intervals. Now what these figures are showing? These are showing production of paddy. What is paddy? What is paddy? Paddy किसको बोलते हैं? Rice. Yes, good. So this is agricultural data, agricultural production data. So rice production हुआ है in 1000 tons, and these are the figures of rice production. So that means 650,000 tons से लेके 700,000 tons का range दिया गया है. And on the right hand side, we are having years, number of years as frequency. So if I want to interpret this data, this means suppose 9. This 9 means there are 9 such years when the annual production of paddy or rice has been 850,000 tons to 900,000 tons. ठीक है, ऐसा 9 years है. So we have 40 years of data. So there are 9 such years when the rice production was between 850 to 900. And similarly, there are 2 such years where the rice production was between 650 to 700. So we are already having group data, and this is overlapping class interval because it is ending at 700, starting with 700, right? 800 से 8 end हो रहा है, 800 से start हो रहा है next class. So that means those years where the paddy production was exactly 800, that will be counted in the next class interval rather in the previous class interval. All right. So now how to calculate mean for this? The formula for mean is, for when we have group data, it is denoted by X bar. What we do, we first, calculate mid value of the class interval, and then we multiply that with the frequency. So we have the frequency Fi multiplied by the mid value of the class interval Xi divided by total frequency. So I'll just explain the meaning of this formula. Fi means frequency. Now some of the nomenclatures you need to learn, okay? There is no escape from that, but these are very easy. Always Fi means frequency. Why I am denoting this I? Because this is I means this is indexing, ith number. So that means ये F1 हो गया, right? ये हो गया F2. This is second frequency. This is third frequency. So when I am writing Fi, that means I is ranging from 1 to, how many class intervals I'm having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, right? 1 से लेकर 9 तक का ये फ्रीक्वेंसी है F4. That is why this I is coming here. This is showing the index, the position of the frequency or the X, right? So this is a formula where this Xi, this is the mid value of class interval. Mid value of class interval. So these are the class intervals. That means I have to first calculate the mid value of that class interval, and then I have to prepare a column where Fi into Xi will be calculated. Let us do that. So I have added 2 more columns here. This column is for mid value, class mid value Xi. The class mid value is 675 for this class. How I got this? I just have to add 650 and 700 and then divide this by 2 and you will get 675. This is the class mid value. Right? So that means जब भी आपको इस तरह से overlapping class interval मिले, you just have to add this lower bound and the upper bound and then divide that by 2. So next class interval will be obtained 700 plus 750 divided by 2, you will get 725. So this is 725, right? So this is how all the mid values of the class intervals are obtained. 900 plus 950 divided by 2 and it came out 925, right? So this is how this column Xi is calculated. I hope it is clear. If it is not clear, just unmute yourself and let me know. So this column, how it is created, you have to just add the lower bound and the upper bound of the class interval and divide that by 2. Once you get the class mid value, then you have to prepare another column for Xi into Fi. That means class mid value multiplied by the corresponding frequency. So ये 1350 कहाँ से आया? You just have to multiply class mid value, that is 675 into the corresponding frequency is 2, right? So this is equal to 1350. 725 class mid value, this is 725 multiplied by 1. Multiplied by 1, so you got 725. Similarly, 1 into 775, this is 775. 4 into 825, it is 3300. So this is how you get Xi into Fi. Once you get all the values of Xi into Fi, you just have to add them up. You just have to add them up and the total is this 36,400. 36,400. ये कहाँ से आया? This is denoted by summation, okay, or sigma. Summation of Fi multiplied by Xi. Now, it can be written in both ways. You can write Fi into Xi or you can write Xi into Fi. It is same. Because multiplication, suppose if you write 3 into 4 and 4 into 3, both are same, right? Both are 12. So it doesn't matter whether you keep Fi in the first position or Xi in the first position. So this is summation of Fi into Xi. Whenever I keep this summation side, that means जो भी इसमें values है, Fi into Xi जो भी values है, इन सबको add करना है. So when I add them, 1350 plus 725 plus 775 plus 3300, like this, if I add all these values plus the last one 325, then I get this sum 36400. All right, and this sum you have to also calculate the sum of the frequencies. So 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 9 11 5 4 3 सारे को आप add करोगे, so 40. This is sum of frequency, summation of Fi. This is also sometimes written as capital N. So in different books you will get different formula. Capital N, this is the sum of frequency. Many times you will see the formula for mean is written in terms of small n and capital N. So what is the difference? जब आपके पास raw data है, grouping नहीं है, then small n means total number of observations. Total number of observations, it is small n, in general nomenclature. Capital N, when you have the frequency distribution, then capital N is again total number of observations, but it is sum of all the frequencies. So this is generally denoted as sum of frequencies. And sum of frequencies means nothing but the total number of observations, right? So here in this case, sum of frequencies is 40. Now, once you calculate this, you just have to calculate the ratio between the two sums which you just computed. So mean will be, this is the formula for mean, x bar is summation of fi into xi divided by summation of fi. Summation of fi into xi divided by summation of fi, or sometimes it is written as summation of fi xi divided by capital N, because capital N is nothing but summation of fi. So it is 36400 divided by 40. So mean production is 910,000 tons. So this is mean, simple, right? Now what is the interpretation of this mean? Mean nikla 910. So this simply means that on an average, the rice production in India has been 910,000 tons, right? So if we look at past 40 years data on rice production, on an average, rice production India में कितना होता है? Average rice production is 910,000 tons, right? So this is how you interpret mean. So I hope it is clear now. Many of you have already, you are already familiar with calculation of mean. Still, I am starting this from scratch because some students are not really, comfortable with statistics and mathematics. But they should know that this is very simple. You just have to remember the formula. All right. Now, next type of class interval or grouping is non-overlapping or inclusive grouping. So let's see one example. What was the average or mean age of voters in India's last general election? So this is the data. Average age of voters, I need to calculate, right? So last general election mein, the data have been collected on average age of voters. So people voting karne aa rahe hai, what is the average age? So here, age in years, it is written in form of this kind of class interval. Of course, it is starting from 18 because this is the 18 is the minimum age of voting, right? So इसलिए हमारे पास 18 से below नहीं है age, right? So 18 to 33, this is the first age group, and then next age group is starting from 34 instead of 33. So 33 and 33 यहाँ नहीं है. This is starting from 34. So we are having non-overlapping class interval, right? It is not overlapping because the upper bound of the previous class interval and the lower bound of the current class interval are different. So that is why it is non-overlapping or inclusive class. And now because these are different, so jiska age exactly 33 hoga, that person will be counted here only in this class interval. जिसका एज exactly 34 years है, that person will be counted here, and exactly 49 years will be counted here. 50 से next class में count होगा. So that means all the values in that class interval are included. That is why it is called inclusive class interval. All right, so here we have this class interval and frequency, and how to interpret this data. This means that there are 5 people. There are 5 people who came for voting and who were in the age group 82 to 97 years. There was only one person who came to a polling booth who was of age 98 to 113 years, right? 1130. So okay, these are again in 10,000. So it is not like one person. Rather, it is 10,000 person. There were 10,000 people who were between age group 98 to 113, because you have to check the unit also. Yeah, 10,000, right? So now you have a class interval and you have to calculate mean. So how mean should be calculated? It's the same thing. You have to calculate the class mid value, and then you have to multiply the class mid value with the frequency. So summation of xi, fi you will calculate, and then you will divide that by number of total number of frequency or sum of frequencies, right? It's the same thing. But the general treatment is given to non-overlapping class interval is you first convert that into overlapping class interval. I will tell you the reason. सबसे पहले ये जो नॉन ओवरलैपिंग क्लास इंटरवल है इसको आप ट्रांसफॉर्म करोगे इनटू एन ओवरलैपिंग क्लास इंटरवल ताकि लोअर बाउंड ताकि अपर बाउंड ऑफ प्रीवियस क्लास इंटरवल एंड लोअर बाउंड ऑफ द नेक्स्ट क्लास इंटरवल शुड मैच, should become overlapping. So how to do that? If you convert this 18 to 33 into overlapping class interval, you will get something like this: 17.5 to 33.5. Next will be 33.5 to 49.5. Now, how it came out to be? Can somebody tell me how 18 to 33 is converted into 17.5 to 13.5? What is the logic behind this? Yes, anybody? So my question is, this was non-overlapping class interval, right? We have converted this into overlapping class interval. So 18 years to 33 years, this has been written as 17.5 to 33.5. Next class interval is written as 33.5 to 49.5. And you can see that here अब overlapping हो गया है, right? 33.5 is the upper bound here, and here 33.5 is the lower bound. Again, यहाँ 49.5 is the upper bound and 49.5 is the lower bound. So what is the logic? Why I am taking the 0.5 difference only, right? What I have done here, I have subtracted my 0.5 here to the lower limit, and I have added 0.5 here to the upper limit, right? So when I have subtracted 0.5 to the lower limit, 18 becomes 17.5, right? 18 minus 0.5, this is equal to 17.5. And upper bound में आपको 0.5 add करना है. So 33 plus 0.5, that is equal to 33.5. So you get the class interval 17.5 to 33.5, right? So similarly here, minus 0.5 you have to add and plus 0.5 you have to add. Here also minus 0.5 and plus 0.5. What is the logic? Why minus 0.5 plus 0.5? Why I am not using 1, 2 or 3? Anybody? Is my question clear? I'm saying that when you are converting this exclusive class interval into inclusive class, inclusive one to exclusive one, or non-overlapping to overlapping, why I'm subtracting and adding minus 0.5 plus 0.5. Yes. May I unmute? Yes, Tushar, please.
Ma'am, as you can see that there is a difference of one in the in the both the classes, like 18 to 33 and 34 to 49. So 33 and 34, there is a difference of one. So we will just add 0.5 in the 18 to 33 class and decrease 0.5 in 34 to 49 class.
Yes.
So there will be the equal, that range will be there.
Yes, absolutely correct. You have to check the difference, upper bound and lower bound of the consecutive classes. What is the difference? So here the difference is 1. 33 and 34 mein difference is 1. So whatever will be the difference, you have to divide that by 2. So this is coming out 0.5 in this case. So it is 0.5. So that means you have to subtract 0.5 here and add 0.5 here in all the classes. Again, subtract 0.5 to the lower bound and add 0.5 to the upper bound. So this is how you can convert that into overlapping class interval. So absolutely correct, Tushar. So similarly, if I have the difference like this, 18 to 33 suppose, and if next class starts from 35 to 40 suppose. So in this case, what is the difference between the upper bound of the first class and lower bound of the second class? 2 units, right? So if it is 2 units, that means आपको 2 divided by 2, 1 plus minus 1 करना है. So minus 1 to the lower bound. This adjustment you have to do, and plus 1 to the upper bound. Minus 1 to the lower bound, plus 1 to the upper bound. So this will be converted as 17 to 34 and then 34 to 41 and likewise, right? So this is the method of converting the non-overlapping class interval into overlapping one. You just have to see the difference. Difference कितना है? 1 unit का difference है, then 0.5 का adjustment होगा. 2 units का difference है, then 1 का adjustment होगा. Difference between the upper bound of the previous class and lower bound of the next class. Okay, then so when we convert that into overlapping class interval, afterwards all the treatment are same. So this is the overlapping class interval, we just got it here. Then the next step will be same, class mid value you have to calculate. Class mid value, now you have to take this class. So class mid value is xi, denoted by xi. So again, when you take class mid value, you have to add the lower bound and the upper bound and you have to divide that by 2. So class mid value will be 17.5 plus 33.5 divided by 2 and this is coming out 25.5. Again 33.5 plus 49.5 divided by 2 and this will come out as 41.5. So you will get the class mid value. Now what if you calculate class mid value without transforming this into overlapping class interval? Do you think there will be any difference? It will come same. That means अगर आप इसको ये step अगर आप नहीं करते हो, if you don't do this step, what will be the mid value? 18 to 33, right? इसका mid value हो जाएगा 18 plus 33 divided by 2 and it will come out same as 25.5. 34 to 49, here also the mid value will be same, 41.5. So when I am getting the same mid value, why I need to do this, transformation to overlapping class interval? Honestly, there is no need when you are calculating only mean, only average value, right? But the problem arises when you are, generally in examination also, you are given same data set and you are required to calculate mean, median, mode, standard deviation and everything. All those things for the same data set. Now, if you are calculating mean, if you are not converting this class interval into overlapping class interval, there will be no difference at all. The value will be, the answer will be same. But for median and mode, the difference will be substantial because हमारे median and mode के formula में the lower bound of the median class or the modal class is taken in the calculation. In the formula it is there. So the lower bound becomes different if you take this one, this class interval, and if you take this class interval, right? So we will come to that later. So in general, that is why what we do. So for mean, if it is, if in your examination only mean is asked, you may not convert that into overlapping class interval. But in general, you won't get that kind of question. आपको mean, median, mode एक साथ निकालने आएगा. So better you first convert that into overlapping class interval and then you calculate class mid value and then XI/FI because you will be using this overlapping class interval again in case of calculation of median, mode and all. For median and mode, this is very crucial step. Okay. So in case of mean, when you calculate this column Xi into Fi, you just have to add these values. This is the sum. This is summation of Xi, Fi. Sum of these values. You have to add all these values. So this is the sum total. And then mean will be 257798 divided by total frequency. Total frequency N, capital N or summation of Fi. This is 5476. So 5476 and the mean value you will get. Okay. So let me see what is the mean value. It is coming 47. 47. So what is the unit here? Years, right? Because हमारा x क्या था? X था हमारा age in years. So whatever mean we got, that is the x. Actually, we got mean of all the x values. So this is 47 years. And what is the interpretation of this? This means that on an average, the age of voters who came to cast vote in last general election, the average age of voter was 47 years, right? So 47 years is the central value and around that value बाकी voters का age lie करता है. So on an average 47 is the age of the voter who casted vote in last general election. So this is how you calculate mean. So this is very simple. I will give you some practice problem also so that you can practice more calculation. Now let's come to median. This is the second type of measure of central tendency. It will again give you the central value. Now the speciality of median is it gives you the exactly middlemost value. So mean भी आपको central value देता है, but it is not giving you the middlemost value. But median will give you the middlemost value, central value जो कि एकदम बीचों बीच lie करता है किसी भी data के distribution में. So it divides the whole data set into two equal parts. Okay, but mean doesn't. Mean will lie somewhere from the lowest value to the highest value. कहीं पे lie करेगा. So if it is lowest value is here and highest value is here, so mean will lie. ये depend करता है कि कौन सा value, it is generally shifted towards the extreme value. So mean could be here, mean could be here. It will lie between between lowest and the highest value, but not necessarily at the middle. But median will always lie in the middle. So 50% of the data set will lie below median value and 50% of the data set will lie above median value. This is the interpretation of median. 50% of data points will be less than the median value and 50% of the data points will be more than the median value. So how to calculate median? Again, for ungrouped data, we have different treatment, and for group data, we have different treatment. For ungrouped data, we just have to arrange the data points into ascending or descending order. What is ascending order? Chota se leke bada, right? So we have to arrange the data points into ascending order, or you can arrange them in descending order. In general, we do this ascending order, but the result will be output will be exactly same अगर आप descending order करते हो तो भी. So and then okay, so I will come to this later. Let me take one example here. Suppose if I have the values like 1, 5, 9, 8. Okay. Okay, so can you tell me what is the median value here? I have here some numbers. Suppose this is marks. And I have how many? 7 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 values are there. What is the median value? What is the middlemost value? Tushar. Tushar says it is 9. Okay. Tushar says sorry. Why sorry? Kaushal Rajin says it is 9. What did I tell you? I said that you have to first arrange the numbers in ascending order, right? So first arrange the numbers into ascending order. You rearrange this. So this will be 1, then 2, 2, 2, right? And then 3, and then 5 and 9. So this is ascending order. Chota se leke bada. I have arranged this. And now tell me the middlemost value. What is the middlemost value? So after ascending, after so this is ascending order. After converting this into ascending order, what is the middlemost value now? Which में कौन सा value है? Yes, please. You need to pick the middlemost value from this one. बीच में कौन सा value है? Is this clear? Am I making sense? Yes, 2. Okay, good. Tushar, Megh, Sujal, Kaushal Raj, Vidhi. Yes. So 2 is the middlemost value, right? This is middlemost value. Because here I have 3 data points below this median value and 3 data points above this median value, right? So ये below and this is above, right? So 3 data points. So that means 2 is median. This 2, this is median value. Why? Because this is dividing the whole data set. 2 median is equal to 2 here. This 2 is dividing the whole data set into 2 equal parts, right? लेफ्ट पार्ट में हमारे पास है 3 डेटा पॉइंट्स जो कि 1 2 2 है, which is either lesser than or equal to the median value, and right hand side में हमारे पास 3 values है which is either greater than or equal to the median value. So here median is 2. So the very first step is you have to first arrange the data set into ascending or descending order, then you pick the middlemost value. In this case, if you say that 9 is the middlemost value, actually 9 is the extreme value. 9 is the highest value, right? So ये middle value तो हो ही नहीं सकता. This is not dividing the whole data set into 2 equal parts, right? Marks अगर if these are marks, so 1 is the lowest marks, 9 is the highest marks. So this is highest marks. It is not the central value, right? So this is the catch. You have to first arrange this into ascending or descending order, and then yes, and then you have to calculate median. All right. So when you have number of observations, so in the earlier example we had 7 observations. So you were able to pick the middlemost value very easily, right? जब हमारे पास even number of observations होंगे, so suppose if it is 1 2 and then 3 5 7 9. So I have already arranged this in ascending order. So what is the median value here? Here number of observations is 8, even number of observations, right? So middle में दो values है. I have the middlemost value. One is 2, another is 3, right? Two middlemost values are there. इन दोनों value के left hand side में 3 values है and right hand side में 3 values है. So these two values are dividing the whole data set into 2 equal parts. Now I cannot have 2 medians, so that is why I need to calculate the average mean or arithmetic mean of these two central values. These two middle values, I have to calculate the arithmetic mean. So what is the arithmetic mean? You just have to add them. 2 plus 3 divided by 2. So this is 5 divided by 2.5. So here 2.5 is median. Alright. So 2.5 is median. Now if you position this median, it will lie somewhere here, right? It will lie somewhere here. 2 and 3 ke beech mein, 2.5. And now you can see that almost 50% data is in the left hand side of median value and almost 50% data is on the right hand side. That means greater than the median value, right? Because it is lying in the center, 2.5. So there are two types of formula in case of raw data or ungrouped data. One is when you have odd number of data points, just you have to pick the middlemost value, right? And when you have even number of observations, you have to pick 2 middlemost values and then you calculate the arithmetic mean of those 2 middlemost values, right? So in terms of formula, if the number of data points or observations that is denoted by n is odd, then n plus 1 by 2th term is median value. So that means n plus 1 by 2th term is the median value. So for example, in this case, अगर मान लो मैं so let me now fit this in formula, right? 1 2 3 suppose these are my data points. So how many I am having? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? So n is 9. So it says that if n is odd, so 9 is odd, then n plus 1 by 2th term. So n plus 1 by 2, that means 9 plus 1 by 2, that is 10 by 2, that is equal to 5. Now 5 is not median. Okay, 5 fifth term n plus 1 by 2x term is median. So fifth term is median. What is the fifth term? आपको ascending order arrange करने के बाद शुरू से count करना होगा. So this is first term. So this one is first term, second, third, fourth, fifth. So the fifth term is this one, 3. So what is the median value? 3. Median is 3 in this case, right? So when you are applying formula, when number of observations is odd, you have to just calculate n plus 1 by 2x term. Now what happens जब आपके पास बहुत कम data set है, for example in this case, 1 से लेके 10 तक का आपके पास just 9 data points है, you can arrange them in ascending order and just by your sight, by looking at the data, you can tell which one is the middlemost value. But what happens when you have hundreds of data points, right? And there are several repetitions are there, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 9, 7. So when you have hundreds of data point, आप पूरा देख के count करके, it is very difficult for you to locate the median value. In that case, this formula will be handy for you. In fact, in that case, you have to create a frequency distribution because this will be again cumbersome. आपको counting अगर करना पड़े तो. But remember this formula, if n is odd, you have to calculate n plus 1 by 2x term. Now, most of the times what students do in the examination, वो इस तरह से n plus 1 by 2 निकाल के, and suppose 5 आया answer, they say that 5 is median. No, it is fifth term is the median. So you have to start counting from the start, from the starting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth term, that means 3 is median. Okay, 5 is not median, rather 3 is median. Fifth term. All right, so let's see what happens when we have number of observations as even. So when we have even number of observations, so let's suppose if I remove this last one, 10. So now I am having number of observations 8. So when you have even number of observations, you need to calculate arithmetic mean of the n by 2th term and n by 2 plus 1th term. So here n is 8, right? So let's calculate n by 2th term. So that means 8 by 2, that is fourth term. Fourth term. What is the fourth term? After arranging the data set into ascending order, then you have to count fourth term. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth term is 2. So fourth term is 2, right? And then you have to calculate n by 2 plus 1th term. N by 2 plus 1th term. That means 8 by 2. आपने n by 2 पहले ही calculate किया था, it was 4, right? So 8 by 2 plus 1th term, that means 4 plus 1, that is fifth term. Fifth term. And now what is the fifth term? This was fourth term, so this is fifth term. Fifth term is 3. And then you have to calculate arithmetic mean of these two middlemost terms. 2 and 3 का arithmetic mean निकालना होगा. So this was fourth term and this was fifth term. And then calculate mean of these two terms. So that is 2 plus 3 by 2, which is 2.5. So 2.5 is median. This is the answer. Right? It is simple. In terms of formula, it looks complicated, but it is simple. You just have to arrange the data set into ascending order. Pick the two middlemost values if the number of observations is even. दोनों middlemost value का arithmetic mean निकालना है. Arithmetic mean means sum those two numbers divided by 2. So that will be your median. So this kind of treatment is given when the data is in form of ungrouped or raw data. When we have grouping in the data set, so when we have frequency distribution and class interval hai, in that case, there is a different formula to calculate median. Okay, so for the group data set, I'll be discussing median in the next class. Meanwhile, all of you please put your enrollment number in the chat box for your attendance purpose. And let me know if there is any doubt in today's class. I'll be covering group data, calculation of median, the next class. Enrollment number, please, in the chat box. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So far, you found any doubt? I'll be giving you practice questions. Okay, ma'am, please upload notes in classroom for theory. For the last class, जो मैंने nominal scale, ordinal scale उसका किया है, I will convert that into PDF and I will upload that. And lecture recordings, I have already uploaded everything. This PPT also I will upload. Mean, median, mode. This PPT also I will upload in Classroom Drive. All right. Thank you very much.